Hello there, everybody. Take number three. Um, on my last video, I spoke about those who are alone and chosen. Now, one of the signs of the awakening signs or the ascension signs, or that you're raising your vibration, is that you like to be alone. That is a very common trait. You like to go for walks on your own. Um, you don't like to be in crowds too long. Um, and you can't stand too much small talk. uh, Everybody, I believe, goes through that or is going through it. But you do not like to be involved with other people and having listening to their problems. Although I do like to speak to people and I want to hear about their problems. But most people don't. Uh, so alone and chosen. Now, I think there's a difference between just being alone, who like to be alone, but being alone and chosen. Now, on YouTube, there is a lot of videos on there about those who are alone, those who are chosen, or those, and who are the ones that are chosen. You yourself would judge that if you were one of the chosen ones. But there is also what are called markings that people have on their hands that signifies that they are chosen, that they are the few that are chosen. Uh, See, I don't like to put a limit on those who say they are chosen. You should know yourself if you are one of the chosen ones. You'll feel it in here. You'll feel it within your consciousness. But they say, and they say that, but people also have the markings. They have certain markings on the palm of their hands. They talk about the crescent moon, and they talk about the letter M. And those people with the marks on their hands are said to be the chosen ones. And the ones that have both the crescent moon and the M on their palms are one of the very, very few people that have them, that have those markings in the population. There are very, very few of those people about, and they're considered to be the chosen ones. I have that. I have the letter M, and I have the crescent moon on both palms. Hey, they don't do anything to me up here. Now there, I wasn't aware of those things until recently, and they don't make any difference to me. It doesn't change the way I think. But if you go by what is said on those videos, they're called archangels. The people who have those marks. If you can see the crescent moon there, you can see the letter M, and that's on both hands. We are called the archangels. Well, as I told you before, I'm Archangel Gabriel. I'm here having a human experience or a human incarnation. For the times that it is, this is why I've come, because mankind needs to move on. And I'm doing my little bit to help that. I can't do that in angel form. I can do more of that inside the tent or incarnating than I can outside the tent. I'm allowed to do a lot more in here inside than I can outside. So have a look at the palm of your hands and see if you can see the letter M, or you might just have the crescent moon, and then again you may even have both of them. You're supposed to be definitely archangels, but you're one of the chosen. And you spend a lot of time alone, which I do. But I also enjoy going out and meeting people. I really do. Even going to the shopping mall, going up to the cash registers and having a good laugh with them, and everybody joins in. You just start blabbering on, and then everyone joins in, and everyone's having a great time. And that's what I love about going to the supermarket. I can go to go for a cup of coffee. I'm not charged for the coffee. When I go into a restaurant and have a meal and I say I'll have a coffee, no charge for the coffee. That's after happening time out a number. I'm not charged for the coffee. Taxi driver refused to take money from me. But these are all just signs. That's just your vibration affecting people, as your vibrations are going up. Now, if you notice anything like that happening to you, and I don't mean free coffees and free taxi rides and stuff like that, could be different things, but things that you know yourself. So things are definitely improving. By the way, don't get attached to the symbols, okay? Don't get attached. If you do have those markings, do not get attached. Now, along with the markings, I also have a negative blood. What has that got to do with it? All I know is who I am. Long before I knew about these. Now, I was at 4 o'clock in the morning a couple of weeks back. I was awake, as you would be at 4 o'clock in the morning in bed. What else would you be doing, sleeping? And you know what they decided to do to me upstairs? They started talking about golf. So if you're into golf, this is for you. Golf and the 18 holes. Why has golf got 18 holes? Why 18? Why not 16? Why not 20? Why 18? This is what I'm getting over 4 o'clock in the morning. But I've come across the number 18 before, and I recognize that it is a powerful number. I was just thinking about, I don't play golf. I don't play golf. But I realized there's something familiar about this number 18. And that's what I was given. It's not an 18 hole. You don't go to play 18 holes. You go out to play 9 out, 9 back. Okay? This is where the 9 by 9. This is where you get the 18. 9, 9 out, 9 back. What's 9 and 9? 18. That's 2 nines. 1, 2, 18. But here's where it gets very interesting. 18 holes, 1 and 8 is 9. So you have 18 out, or 9 out, 9 back, and 9. So you got 3 nines. 3 nines is 27. Oh, 27. 7 and 2 is 9. Oh, 4 nines you've got all of a sudden. So 4 nines is 36. 6 and 3 is 9. Oh, what's going on here? You got 5 nines. 5 nines is 45. 5 and 4 is 9. Hmm. You now have 6. 6 nines is 54. 5 and 4 is 9. It's a never ending number. 9 is the number. It's the end number. It's a very powerful number, which why it was introduced in Scotland. And what's in Scotland is the oldest masonry lodge in the world, the Royal Scottish Lodge. That's where golf was created, in Scotland. And that's where they brought in the number 18, the 1 and the 8. There's 9. It's a powerful, powerful number. It's a Merkaba number. So the next time we hear someone playing golf, oh, you're going out with the Merkaba number. It's not an 18 rounds of golf. It's 2 nines. They're playing a 9 and a 9, and you're into the 9 frequency. The 9 is the number of, 1 is the number of creation. 9 is the number of completion. 9 is the number of completion. Yeah. So that's funny. I'll be 81 next year. 81, yeah. 1 and 8, 9. I'm completed. Am I? Or have I got something else to do? I don't like hanging around here just for the sake of hanging around. So golf will never be the same again. It's a Merkaba number. It's a powerful, very, very, very powerful number, which is why the Freemasons and the Masonries and all that crowd introduced it, are aware of it, and use that number. It's the number of completion. Okay. Right, so that's the end of that round. I enjoyed our round of golf. Best round of golf I ever had. Never played a game in my life. Oh, I did. I did play a few. I did play it, yeah, I did. I tried it. And I went up and what you call tee off. I took a swipe at the ball and the ball went backwards and I threw the club down and I said, that's the end of that. So there is what golf is about. And then number 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Right. So moving on. Let's talk about all these wars. And the war in Iran, the war in Ukraine. They, as I told you in the last video, they are about technology. And since I put that out a few weeks back now, people are saying, this is about technology, all about technology. I've given out a lot of information in these videos that I've done over the period. Information that nobody else knew. It was all new at the time. But the funny thing about it was, there's somebody will always come out a few days later and say, oh, by the way, this is going to happen and this is happening. I even remember when I spoke about Yahweh and who he was. Well, lo and behold, somebody else came out and I gave out the same information. Now, do they listen to my or watch my videos? I don't know, but it's happening time out of number. So if you want to know what happens first, I'm your man. one Yahweh, Yahweh, that little git. Now, Yahweh is the God of the Bible. Now, the Bible is not a holy book, by the way, which I've told you many, 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 many times. Yahweh is more like a history book. There's nothing holy about it. Not in the least. There's nothing holy. Now, while the thought is still in my head, Jesus was born, they said, if Jesus or Yeshua. I was one of the first people to mention the name of Yeshua, by the way, a good many years ago now, when I done my first ever video. It was an interview I did, and I mentioned the name Yahweh, or Yeshua. Yeshua and Yahweh, they do sound alike. But Yeshua was the name that I always knew him by. Jesus, the name of Jesus was not familiar to me. Yeshua is what I call him. You want to call him Yeshua Jesus? Yeah, go ahead. But everyone is now using the name Yeshua. But yes, unless I'm very much mistaken, I was one of the first, if not the first, to mention the name Yeshua. But I'm very happy to see that everybody is now using that and getting out from under the name of Jesus, which is not his name, and which is a vibration lowering tone to it. Okay? You say Jesus, the vibration is down on that name. Yeshua raises your vibration. You can feel it. Another one that I gave out was, as I mentioned him, that bugger that's mentioned in the Bible, Yahweh, is a reptilian that's worshipped by those living in Israel. When I came up with that information, and as soon as I came out with it, Mario Bellino, the Italian writer, interpreter, came over a few days later. And then Paul Wallace came out with it. And this certain little lady that I mentioned previously also came out with it. Paul Wallace wrote a book, and Mario Bellino, who's Italian, you should read his book, by the way, The Gods of the Bible. That's an eye-opener. Go read that. Read that one. Or listen to Paul Wallace. Gives out a lot of information. Just reverting back to the wars again, it is about technology. Got very little to do with oil. It's what's buried in Iran that is trying to get their hands on. It's the technology that's they're getting their hands on. The Russians don't want the Americans to have it. The Americans don't want the Russians to have it. The Russians don't want the Chinese to have it. So that's why there's a big conflagration going on. It's the same thing again with Greenland. It's the technology is buried in Greenland and all the other places that where you have your local eruptions going on. It's all to do with technology. Oil is just the cover. Just moving on rather quickly, I want to speak about the Archons. Jesus spoke about the Archons quite a bit. And the Archons were the ones he told the spirits, and he put them into the pig, and the pigs just ran over the cliff. They were the Archons that Jesus told the demons to go. He told them, get out, and they said, where are we going to go to? And he pointed to the pigs, go in there, go into the pig, which they did when the pig got men ran over the cliff. and the Archons. So how do you know the Archons are around? Where are they mainly? A good example would be if you take a walk down the street. If we're in the city, for instance, you take the walk down the street and you see all the people who are drugged out of their mind. The Archons are at work there, 100%. Those who drink quite a lot. The Archons are at work there. And the friendly cigarette, the tobacco. Your friendly local Archons also at work there. These are the big attractions for the Archons. If you see somebody passing out on the street because they're drugged out and they do whatever they do, that is the Archon taking the loot from them. But they'd rather take the loot from you or from me. It's much cleaner, much healthier for them. But failing that, there's a free lunch for all the for the drug addicts. No, we all know the dangers to your health when you smoke. But why won't the government ban it? They ban everything else, but why don't they ban cigarettes? Or ban alcohol? Ban the drugs. They don't try too hard to ban the drugs because that's louche. That's the louche for the Archons. So next time you see a drunk or a person drugged out of their tiny little mind, or even a person smoking, the wacky packy, and even the normal cigarette, they're doing you no good, but they're doing plenty of good for the Archons. So please don't smoke. Stay away from the alcohol and certainly stay away from the drugs. They all bring your vibration down, 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 down. So, there's a good reason why they don't ban cigarettes. Do away with cigarettes. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, when they don't ban it. Oh, ban cigarettes. No, we put the taxes up on the cigarettes. They make plenty of money out of it. But as you pay, the person who's taking the drugs pays. The alcoholic, but not even the alcoholic, the person who, takes the strong spirits, brings your vibration down. You don't know what you're doing. You're all over the place. You're out of balance. So if you have a mind to, this is just a suggestion, and you walked past someone who's lying, I'm not talking about a homeless person. Okay? It could be any reason why a person is homeless. It may not necessarily have to do with drugs or alcohol or tobacco. It could just be one of those things. Lost his job, lost his family, is homeless. I'm not talking about these people, but you do know the ones I'm talking about. You can't help but notice them. But when you see them, the Archons are there. One is not there without the other. So if you have a mind to, you are strong enough to tell these Archons to take a hike. Leave these people alone. Okay? No, I haven't done it yet. as I don't get out as much as I used to anymore, I like to be at home a lot. And that's another one of the signs. You don't like going out too much. But when I goes out, I love to go to the shopping mall. And I go in and I start speaking to the waiters and the cashiers, and something does happen to me. 2 weeks ago, I was in a cafe drinking my coffee, and I finished my coffee. Now there wasn't too much of a space between the tables, so I had my jacket off. So as I was leaving, I got up and to put my jacket on, and I felt the tug on my jacket. And I said, "Oh crap! I'm out hitting the person in the next table with my jacket as I was putting it on." So I turned around and I said, I'm very sorry for hitting you with my jacket. And she says, "No, no, 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 no. That was me. I was just helping you to put your jacket on." And I went, "Oh, really?" I said, "Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much." These are the things that something will always happen. Something will always be going on when you're out and about. You do affect or influence what's going on around you. You might get loads of free coffees. I know I do. Uh, but I don't go looking for the free coffee. If it happens, I'm delighted and I'm happy. And I say, "Thank you very much." I might leave a tip. I might leave it in. So, uh, so I think I'm already done 2 videos, 2 takes about David Wilcock. And I hope one of them is out there coming out. I might have to put up two videos now. One where I spoke about David Wilcock. I do miss the guy. He's a powerful guy, and I miss him. And as I said in those videos, he was murdered by his own hand. He never wanted to commit suicide. He was totally depressed. But this voice, the skull technology, even he couldn't fight it for too long more. He couldn't fight it. I could see it. He was going down and down and down. So I think that's about it. I will see how the video about David is going to come out, because it ended very abruptly. I don't know what went on. It just suddenly shut down. So I hope it comes out okay. I didn't intend to split the videos, but that's the way it turned out. So what else can if I could recommend the Gospel of Thomas and the readings, his is the original gospel. He has the oldest gospels. That's the oldest gospel. And it's only just sayings. There's no story. There's nothing about miracles. It was just what Jesus said. All the sayings are there. But if you can understand the sayings, now I don't understand all of the sayings, but I do understand quite a bit of them. And I just leave it at that. I do know what he's on about in a lot of those sayings. That's another indication of where your vibration is going, how you're being prepared for the descension, how your vibrations are working up. So I will speak about death, possibly in my last video. As we are approaching the end, I will speak about death, what happens when you die. Death is nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid of dying, means you're afraid of God. So why are you afraid of God? I'm not talking about the God that's in That's in that Bible who the Israelis worship. Yahweh. He's not, a lot of people are saying, oh, hey, they're Anunnaki. No, he's reptilian. He's reptilian. So that's who the God of Israel is, reptilian. He is not the creator. He is not source of source. He is not your father. He is not your father. Your father is just love and light. Nothing else. No strings. And he is the one you wish to return to. Not that clown in the Bible. That the Israelis and a lot of Americans, especially the American senators and all that, who put Israel first. You mean they are going to put Yahweh first? That's what they're really saying. We put Yahweh first. Listen, I leave it at that. And if you've got to ask me any questions, stick them in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. I don't think I've ever asked for that before. Don't know why now when I'm coming up to the end of my videos, and I do them in the very end. So maybe the next one will be the last one. So let me see how our thing's going. Okay. Have a nice one.